Perfect. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this special session of the Ports webinar series. I'm Julia Marcelino, Membership Experience Lead of the International Association of Port Development, Port, and I'm thrilled to have you with us today. Ports is a global platform dedicated to fostering innovation, knowledge sharing, and strategic collaboration across the port sector. As the International Association of Port Development, our mission is to connect ports, support their development, and prepare stakeholders to navigate the future of global logistics and maritime trade. This webinar series is one of the tools we use to accomplish our mission, bringing together experts, leaders, and innovators to share insights and practical knowledge. Each session is an opportunity for the global port community to learn, ask questions, and engage in discussions that shape the future of our industry. Today, we are honored to welcome Eduardo Miguez, Business Development Manager at PortosRio from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Miguez has held this position since November 2021. He is an active member of the Logistics and Transport Business Council at the Commercial Association of Rio de Janeiro since 2018. And Eduardo also contributes to the Strategic Energy Council at AmCham Rio and serves on the Rio de Janeiro Export Council at the Brazil Export Group, playing a key role in shaping discussions around infrastructure, trade, and energy in Brazil. Today, he will be speaking about green hydrogen and the decarbonization roadmap at PortosRio, an area of growing importance for ports globally. Without further ado, I'd like to invite Eduardo Miguez to start the presentation. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you also to Raquel. And it's an honor and a pleasure to PortosRio to share a little bit about what we are doing to such a great and prestigious audience. And thank you everybody for being here. And sorry for the English, it's a little rusty, but forget about the mistakes. We'll share the presentation here. It's in presentation mode, Julia?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, today we are talking about our projects regarding low carbon and a little bit of ESG agenda that PortosRio is conducting. To start, who is PortosRio? Yes, PortosRio, it's a public company. We are linked to the Ministry of Ports and Airports. We are the port authority responsible for the 5 public ports of the state of Rio de Janeiro. There are ports of Rio de Janeiro, port of Itaguaí, port of Angra dos Reis, port of Niterói, and also port of Forno in city of Arraial do Cabo. We work as a landlord port, so all our terminals are operated by private companies, and we manage the infrastructure, and all the service that need linking with the government. So in this presentation, we will focus in port of Itaguaí, just to talk about our project. But here is where we are. located, situated port, an image of Port of Rio de Janeiro, Port of Itaguaí, Port of Angra and Niterói are more dedicated to offshore industry, and Angra also general cargo. Port of Forno, we are trying to return with the operations. Nowadays is without operation, the port. Port of Itaguaí is located in Sepetiba Bay. Okay. And the project that we are talking in this presentation is focused in Port of Itaguaí. But you will see that we have another issues regarding this agenda that also we will talk about Port of Rio. So what we are doing now regarding this theme, we are talking about 3 points here in the presentation. Okay, 3 items. The technical cooperation agreement. Sorry, it's a mistake in the slides. With UNESCO, Fernanda Sasaoka, who is here in this room, are the responsible for this agreement. She's the manager of sustainability and environmental in PortosRio. We are talking then about onshore power supply, or OPS, and finally the sustainable fuels, and this is our project that we are focusing in Port of Itaguaí. Okay. Julia will open the 2 answers in the end. So I will talk about the 3 items. Please feel free to talk in the end if you have any questions. Let me adjust because this window is okay. Well, this cooperation. All right. This technical cooperation agreement with UNESCO has as objective to promote the sustainable development of the ports of Rio de Janeiro and Itaguaí, reconciling port activity with environmental preservation, social well-being, and compliance with the Sustainable Development Goals and the Paris Agreement. PortosRio is looking for start all the initiatives to put into the same, that we said, umbrella of this agreement, and to start with the technical team from UNESCO. In 1 month ago, Fernanda, I think 1 month ago, started to do this. We'll start here. This diagnosis of let me start with the GHG inventory. They visited our ports of Rio and Itaguaí and start to see all the operations where the greenhouses emissions can appear, and we'll start to do this inventory. So the preparation of an inventory of greenhouse gas emissions, but they have already started this stage of technical visit, and they are now working in the study with the to see where we are, so, and where we want to be in the future. So emission certification methodology are still current. what we want to do in business development areas that is responsible for is to identify opportunities, okay, regarding the greenhouse, the gas emissions inventory, and where we can put projects, implement projects to help the company and help all the supply chain integrated with our port to reduce these emissions. We also started the ISO diagnosis, ISO diagnosis, assessment of compliance with ISO standards. We are looking for internal process that can be applied to ISO certificate. So also identification of opportunities for improvement. We are studying all the procedures in PortosRio in order to see what we have to do to be able to the certificate. And finally, the creative economy, projects to enhance historical and cultural heritage and encouragement of the creative and sustainable economy. We work in this case together with some internal commissions of PortosRio. There is a diversity and port city relations to see what we can do together with the city, together with the government and with the society to, I will not say to start, but to structure the initiatives that exist, to put together the initiative of PortosRio with initiatives with the private terminals, all of the private companies that is in our terminals. We know that they have initiatives regarding creative economy or social projects. What we want to do is structure this and also put the port authority initiatives together with them to promote the port globally, not only individual terminals. These three items started in 1 month, I think ago. They have started 1 month ago, so that's the work that we're in progress nowadays. The second item is onshore power supply. Recently, I've been in Europe, in Valencia, and I don't know if all of them, all of European ports, but most of European ports are trying to implement, because there is a European legislation that said they have to implement OPS, that is onshore power supply, in ports. Here in Brazil, we have this, not the obligation yet, maybe in the near future, but we have this initiative. What is the big problem that we are facing now? Most of the vessels that dock in our ports, and I'm saying around probably more than 95%, and not only in our ports, probably in Brazilian ports, but for sure in our ports, the vessels are not able to receive they are not adapted to receive energy of ground. They have to be adapted, and they don't. So why should we invest in a complex infrastructure and in a expensive infrastructure if the vessels are not able to receive? It's a discussion that we are having here because we have a small vessels like tugboats to provide to supply energy to tugboats. Okay, we are able to do this. For example, one company in Port of Rio signed an agreement with ICTSI. There's a container terminal here, and the terminal are supplying energy for ground to the tugboats. Probably there's another company that are discussing with this terminal to sign, but we in a public port, as we said, in the area of the port, not leased, we are studying to also supply the tugboats. It's not a complex investment, not expensive. Maybe to the final of the year, these discussions are progressing. Final of the year, probably we will have this infrastructure. But the vessels that dock in our Port of Rio that are adapted and are able to receive is the cruise vessels. These cruise vessels we have another problem. The demand of these vessels are very huge. To give you an example, we are talking about 3 points of the supply, each of them around 11, 13 megawatts, each of them. The energy that the company, the electricity company that supply for us are not able to attend this demand. So we are analyzing to see how expensive is this project, if it is feasibility to do this, technical feasibility to do this. So we are studying the feasibility and also the economic feasibility, technical feasibility, and also the economic feasibility to supply, because the vessels don't guarantee that we'll consume and pay for them for the energy, and this is a problem. This is a problem because if they don't consume, they don't pay. Who will pay for the discount in the final, in the bottom line? So IMO are demand this the reduce of the GHG from the vessels, and the port, the shipping lines of the cruise company said that the ports that they don't have this OPS until 2030, probably they will not attend this port anymore. So it's a huge problem. But what we start to think, the objective of this OPS is to stop the pollution of the air, because they will work with the fossil diesel, and is decarbonizing the operations while they are docked. Well, we start to think that if we use e-diesel, green diesel, yes, to supply the generator of the vessel, we will replace and substitute the fossil diesel with the green diesel. In the end of the operation, the objective, the goal will be attained. That is decarbonizing the operations while they are docked. So we are talking with some companies and starting to propose technical agreements with them, where we can use the port and make some agreement with a shipping company that probably will also work with the container vessels that nowadays they are not adapted to receive the OPS. And then if it works, they can also decarbonize their operations. So we can make this agreement with the shipping company. And on the other hand, we can make an agreement with a company that had already produced e-diesel and use the port. We are connecting these companies and using the port to make these tests. I don't know if it will be necessary to make some adjust on the generator. They have to test. What some specialists said, that they don't need to make an adjustment, but we have to test it. And then maybe we can also improve the production of e-diesel. We can induct the decreasing of this production because we will have a demand. And maybe this demand can be used for a lot of ports, not only Port of Rio and Port of Itaguaí, but maybe in ports of Brazilian ports, another foreign ports. So we are trying to initiate this test, not this test, the agreement this year. Until the final of the year, we want to have this agreement to start in this phase, the next phase. Well, this is our Port of Itaguaí. Okay, we have just to who don't know Port of Itaguaí knows, we have in green the leasing for Companhia Portuária Baía de Sepetiba, CPBS. That is a company from Vale. We have in red, I think it's red, CSN, Mineração Leasing. And in blue, Sepetiba Tecom is container terminal leasing. We have 3 leasing. Well, we have 4 in fact, but the 4th are It's another iron ore that was listed in last year, final of 2004, or 2004. It's this area in the middle between the iron ore terminal from Vale and iron ore terminal from CSN. Okay, but let me show this one. We have almost 2 million square meters of available areas in Port of Itaguaí. And we have the intention to use this area not only for implementing terminals, port terminals, that is an objective for sure, but also to implement industries, industrial activities in this area. That is the objective of the port in the beginning, the creation of the port, to be a port industry. So what we want to do here, we started with public call to see if there is a company in the market interested implementing projects of energy transitions. We received in the final 11 answers, and almost all of them, maybe 9 of these answers, are to implement green hydrogen projects. So we started to study this industry, this segment. We talked with all those companies, and now we are structuring the projects like I will talk now. Well, let's start with the green hydrogen. And we intended, first of all, to produce. Port Authority will not pay for the projects, will not invest in the projects. What we want to do is we have a greenfield area, and we are trying to connect the investor, the company who wants to produce, and the company who wants to consume. That's what we are trying to do in this moment. So this green hydrogen, probably using the grid, we will not have a solar panel in the port, or wind structure in the port. So what we are studying is use the grid with certificates that the energy used are green. It becomes from a sustainable source, a renewable source. But we think that green hydrogen, at least at this moment, we will not use the green hydrogen as green hydrogen direct in the vehicles. I know that they exist, but in the vessels, and we also know that green hydrogen can be used in the chemical industry. But this green hydrogen is much more expensive than the brown hydrogen or gray hydrogen, for example. So what we are studying is to produce the green hydrogen, and maybe in the same area or in the area next of this facility, we produce green methanol or green ammonia, maybe synthetic diesel, urea or even SAF. There's a sustainable aviation fuel. But we as Port Authority, we are not able to say what we will go, what the market will go into to invest. That's why we are looking in the market and talking with the companies, and now, as I will say, looking for a study where the study will say for me, the market, the companies, the industry wants to produce this sustainable fuel or I don't know, this material, this product. So we are structuring this in a bigger project that is create a center of excellence in energy transition, where the production of the green hydrogen and the sustainable fuel are inside this structure, and we also can attract the academia, universities, or P&D, project development, research institutes. But the leader of this project is the sustainable fuel. And to do this, we think that major of the ports projects in Brazil are focused in export the green hydrogen or low carbon hydrogen. We are trying to supply to internal demand. Okay, we are talking with the Santa Cruz Industrial District. Okay, that is the biggest industrial district of the state of Rio de Janeiro, where we have huge companies. And we are talking a lot with these companies, and especially with IEDIN, that represent these companies. I also like to thank for Melissa Rocco that is our partner in this project. And we are trying to use this green hydrogen or sustainable fuel to supply the demand of the companies of districts, the district. And we know that they don't have a huge demand, but if we take the demand of the 5, 6, 10 companies of the district, maybe we can turn this project viable, and we can produce more, and then it's a possibility of exporting maybe ammonia, or maybe methanol, or maybe diesel, not green hydrogen. So it's in the future, maybe we can produce this e-diesel in Port of Itaguaí, and then supply for the OPS to replace the OPS and to put in the generators of the vessels in Port of Rio and Port of Itaguaí, and we can dispatch for another ports in Brazil. We have to study that is the life cycle of these sustainable fuels. For example, there's a huge company in the district that produces CO2, but it's not a biogenic CO2. So we have to study all the life cycle to see it is viable to use not green hydrogen, green methanol, for example, but low carbon methanol. Talking with companies, I see that it's viable, it's totally feasible, but we have to know the carbon footprint of this product. That is the plant that we are thinking regarding the Center of Excellence in Energy Transition. Let me see. We are in the end. Why Port of Itaguaí? Because we have more than 2 million of square meters available areas. Because we have availability of water to produce green hydrogen, it's mandatory. We have availability of CO2 capture in the nearby industries here. We use energy from grid, like as I said, with certificate of renewable energy. We have the port infrastructure available. When we are starting to export, we are running the port. We are running the port. We also have railway availability. We have a nearby industries, as I said, as potential off-takers. That is the key to this market. To find the off-takers. We have investors to this production. We know that money is not a problem. The big problem, I think, is the off-takers. Who will lead this market? Who will lead this? Who will pay more in the beginning? Okay, we are expecting the carbon credit market. Okay, we think that it's will help a lot to turn feasible this project. I think it's very in the beginning nowadays in Brazil. And the IMO demand with penalties to vessels, for example, that companies that don't accomplish the mandatory legislation. So these two factors can improve this market, but for sure in the beginning we have to take risks. So somebody will pay more in the beginning, and find these off-takers is the key for success. And how about the project today? We did an agreement with an European energy company and also with a German company, and we propose a project. It's in a call from GIZ. It's a public institution from Germany. We propose a project where we want grant to invest in a completely feasibility study, technical, economic, market feasibility study to see if in fact it's feasible to put this industry in Port of Itaguaí, and which products should we should we conduct the project. And it's not an easy study. It's expensive also. And now we are waiting for the answer of the GIZ. We hope that in next 2 months, we will have the answer if we will grant it or not, and finally start this project with the private companies, our partnerships that are our partners in this project. Thank you for the attention of everybody. One more time, sorry for the for the bad English, but we're trying to do our best. And
Eduardo, thank you so much. Sorry to interrupt. Thank you so much for your presentation. It's great to see how many initiatives one of the greatest ports in Brazil is advancing in this agenda. We'll now open the floor for questions. Does anyone have questions for Eduardo? You can either write it in the chat or feel free to open your microphone. We'll start with Robert.
Hi, excellent presentation. All the ports that you mentioned that are considering shore power, are all these ports currently handling cruise cargo? Cruise vessels, rather?
We receive cruise vessels only in Port of Rio de Janeiro. In Brazil, we have another terminals that receive it, like Bahia, like São Paulo, Santos. But as I know, none of them can supply energy for ground for cruise vessels.
Okay. We ourselves here are currently in the study part of installing shore power systems here at Port Everglades. As you may know, we cruise industry is one of our main areas of business here. By the time this year, we're forecasting over 4 million passengers coming through the port here. And Miami, to the south of us, Miami, I understand they have already installed a certain amount of shore power capacity at their terminals. And Miami is forecasted to finish this cruise season with about 8 million passengers. So that's something that's certainly on the horizon for us to do here. One of the benefits, if you will, that we have is the port has very close to the terminals. The Florida Power and Light has a transmitting state, has a plant here at the port. So extending the power from that facility to the terminal should be relatively easy, if you want to use that word, in comparison to other ports. But as usual, what drags out these programs are el dinero. It's very expensive, and there's a lot of other needs that we have to balance when it comes to infrastructure projects. Never mind that we have close to about, we've just went through a program. One of our projects here, you should actually, if I move, you can actually see it here in the background. That's our Southport turning notch extension, and that project to date is the most expensive project we've undertaken, close to $500 million to complete. The next project will be the deepening and the widening of the access channels. We are currently at 42 feet. We're looking to go, I'm sorry, I should have made the conversion to meters. 50 feet. We're currently at 42, but we're looking to be at 50. and that's going to take a few years to complete. Never mind that we have been over 20 years asking for permission from the federal government to undertake this project. When the project was first earmarked 20 years ago, the project was priced at about $600 million. Currently, the price of the project exceeds 1.8 billion. And most of that is environmental mitigation. We are in a very tourist-heavy, sensitive area, so we have to take a lot of precautions when it comes to initiating projects of that nature. But anyways, very good presentation, Eduardo, and your English was great.
Oh, you're kind. Thank you. Yeah, we are facing this discussion in this moment. Who will pay for this bill for the investment that we will have to do? In our case, if it is feasible to do this investment, and you are facing the same problems that we public port authority companies here that sometimes we make a project to dredge a channel, and we achieved this project in 4 years ahead. So it's the problem for us too. Thank you.
Well, in that sense, we're a little bit of a better position. The federal government here, through the Army Corps of Engineers, picks up a fair portion of the projects. But like everything in life, the guy that pays you the money puts a lot of conditions, so it's quite complex.
Let's move on. Sorry. Let's move on to the next question. I think John has a question, and then afterwards Esteban, and afterwards Charlie. John, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Julia. Eduardo, congratulations for the presentation. It was very nice, very clear. Your English is very well. So I would like to understand what is the large source of GHG emission in your port operations. For example, is that a dredger or tugboats or a vessel? What's the large source of GHG emissions?
Yeah, thank you, John, for the question. This story is carrying out by the UNESCO. They are studying this. In my opinion, we have the main emission is when vessels are docked in the operations. We can expand this analysis and use the anchorage areas, and where maybe the emissions in the anchorage areas can be part of this this emission, global emissions. In port, we have the 2 container terminals that they have equipment with electric, and most of the equipment's electric. We have use of the solar energy in terminals. So I think the most gas emission is in the operation of the vessels. But we will have this conclusion. I don't know when, Fernanda, if you want to say, but when we have the final the final study of the UNESCO.
Nice. Thank you. If you can share it in advance when you finish the study, I like thank you for you.
Okay. Fernanda is our manager responsible for the study. She's here, if we can, I have to check the contract. We can send to you.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Esteban?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Eduardo. Don't worry, my English is worst. Here in Mexico, the ambiental authorities are very restrictive, and you will develop a big area. What happened with the Brazilians ambiental authorities? There are a problem there?
Yes, we have, I will not say problem, not political correct to say problem. We have a lot of issues regarding more when we want to do some dredge. And so dredging, we have a dredging project that we are facing issues like it takes a long time to the authorities. It's a local authorities, environmental authorities, to give the authorization for us or demand complementary studies. For example, not most of them, but we have some terminals, ports that we works with the not final environmental authorization, except for reviews. So it takes a long time to they give for us this authorization, and our schedule, we suffer with this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For the benefit of time, we are going to wrap up the session if everyone's fine with it. We would like to thank everyone who joined us today. We appreciate your time and your commitment to professional growth and global collaboration. Save the date for the next ePorts webinar on August 13th with Nicholas Westgate. He's CTO at Node.io, a digital startup that will be talking about digital transformation in port operations. And as a reminder, ePort is opening its membership season on September 1st. So we warmly welcome all port leaders, professionals, and stakeholders to be part of this growing global community. By becoming a member, you have access to exclusive content, strategic networking, and impactful initiatives like this webinar series. Together, we are shaping the future of ports, ePorts, connecting ports, navigating the future. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of the week. And see you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. See you
Goodbye.
soon.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.